Can someone tell me why I keep seeing this 180 thing week after week in the bulletin? What's it all about?
Ernie, you know, as part of the vision team, we've talked about this here at Parkman Congregational Church.
And Ernie, remember, we have talked about it, and you are a member of this team.
I think we need to keep talking about it and until everybody remembers.
I agree. I think we need to make sure that it's on our hearts and in our minds all the time, and amongst everybody else as well.
Now, I'm going to read for you, Ernie, what's in the bulletin so that you can understand it. It's very simple. Not God's plan for my life, but my life for God's plan. Not God's vision for our church, but our church for God's vision.
Hey, while we're here, let's remember the summary, or let's review the summary from the ministry profile.
Okay, so if remember what we talked about before, it says there's about 50,000 people within a 10-mile radius here at Parkman Church.
It is a lot.
And with the highest population age group of between the ages of 15 and 24. The second highest group is between the age of 15 and 14, and the third is 55 and 64.
Man, they left me out.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, and that probably explains why the child's ministry has become so popular.
And why it's so important.
It also shows us that our community is really concerned with family issues. They're trying to provide for their families, they're looking for child care, and they're dealing with teen and child problems all the time. And I'm sure they're out there seeking parental skills.
Gee, we got to do something.
Well, it also shows that our community is dealing with a high level of stress. I mean, we all are dealing with stress every day as well.
Oh, that's for sure.
And 20% of our community is looking for a really good church.
Wow.
So now what?
We have to keep praying.
And ask others to pray with us as well.
Well, we also have to remember to keep seeking God's will for our church.
And then what?
Well, we have to understand that this is a process. It's not something that you or I or us as a group can change. It's really something about God laying it on all of our hearts and our minds, and we have to keep that as our focus all the time.
Yeah, it's really important that everyone join us in prayer and listen to the Lord speaking to us. That way we'll know what God's plan is.
Right. And you know, there's something else that we're missing that we didn't cover yet.
What did we miss?
Well, it also shows that our community is looking for fellowship and teaching in small groups. You know, like the group that Pastor Will and Karen have at their house every single week. So they come together and they have a meal and they share in fellowship, and then they learn about the gospel and understand its teaching and how we apply it to now in everyday life that we're living or attempting to live every single day. So I think we need to make sure that we're encouraging others and that we get and develop that fellowship amongst each other.
You know what? That sounds like a really great idea.
So too.
So how do we get the word out to everybody about the small groups?
Well, I think our first thing is we have to start by sending an invitation. So I want to say to you, my family, my friends, and my neighbors, I invite you to join Jim and I at our house for a small group. And if you're interested, just let me know and we'll work out all the details.
Great.
That sounds good. I'd like to belong to your group. I need to learn how to be in a group like that.
Well, you would be welcome.
Yeah, and just think, if we all started something like this and invited our family and our friends and all of our neighbors, how many people would we be reaching with the Word of God? It'd be wonderful.
Amen.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we need everyone to join us in prayer, to listen to God's will.
And I suppose if anybody wanted to be part of a small group, they could also just contact the church.
Sounds like a great idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That would work.
Well, this has been great. I think we need to go and continue to pray about what God is leading us to do here as a vision team and also here as Parkman Church. So let's do that, and then we'll meet back again in a couple weeks.
That
Great.
sounds great.
All right,
guys.
Great.
We'll try
Thanks.
to be on time.
I'll
Right?
be a little early next time.